October 19th will of course be a very nice fight as Tszyu will attempt to become a two-time world champion as he takes on the IBF Super Welterweight World Champion Bakram Murtazaliev. Now, of course, a lot has happened since the undisputed fights between Charlo and Castaño, as Charlo has lost all his belts. He currently has none of them, not even the Ring Magazine belt. But the first champion after Charlo was in fact Tszyu, as he was elevated from interim title holder to full title holder. And then he lost his belt to Sebastian Fundora in that bloody affair where he lost his WBO belt and Fundora picked up the vacant WBC belt. And of course, the WBA belt was picked up by Israel Madrimov, who was then defeated by Terence Crawford. And now the IBF title, of course, taken by Bakram Murtazaliev. But we'll call him Bakram for a little bit easier, right? So if Tszyu is successful with defeating Bakram, there will be the title. All titles will have changed hands twice, or at least except the WBC one because that was vacant, right? But the belt will be held by two different people. Now, of course, Tszyu, the former world champion, 24-1, 17 wins by way of knockout. Of course, he is coming off of the split decision loss to Sebastian Fundora. Very bloody affair. Very bloody. Very nasty. Now, of course, the elephant in the room was that if he did not get cut by the elbow, which was unintentional, then he would have won. And to that, I say, yeah, probably. I mean, there were certain times in the fight where I think it was specifically this punch when Tszyu landed. I was like, no, Fundora's gonna lose. Oh yeah, by the way, I did pick Fundora to win Tszyu, but I didn't expect it to win like that. But it doesn't matter. A win's a win. But anyways, he was, as you would say, styling on Fundora for the first 3 rounds, and then the cut happened. And then it was a very, not even awkward affair. It was still very somewhat technical, I guess you could say, but it was favoring Fundora, even though Fundora had a broken nose. But that happened due to a punch and not a headbutt or nothing, right? So it doesn't really matter. But besides that, he has had quite a good run. Of course, beating Jeff Horn, as you used to say. Jeff Horn, Steve Spark, Takeshi Inoue, Terrell Gausha, Tony Harrison, Carlos Ocampo, and Brian Mendoza. Of course, Mendoza was his first defense of his full WBO belt, which, you know, people would call him a email champion as he was elevated from interim to full-on champion. But he did defend it against a very good opponent in Brian Mendoza, who actually defeated Sebastian Fundora beforehand, winning the interim WBC belt. So obviously, you know, email champion, but he has defended it. He has proven that he is a legitimate champion. But anyways, the IBF champion is 22-0, 16 wins by way of knockout, coming off of the 11th round stoppage win of Jack Culcay, 33-4 for the vacant IBF title. And of course, Culcay, if someone would, I guess, inform me. But I do believe he was the interim WBA belt holder, and then he fought Demetrius Andrade. I think he was elevated to WBA, full WBA champion, and then lost his belt via split decision to Andrade, which is very nice, split decision. But it was 2017. So I think he was a full-on champion, but he lost the belt in his first title defense. But another thing is he also lost to the then undefeated Maseg Salecki. Very nice. And he also lost unanimous decision to Sergey Deverenchenko. Close fight there too, but then again, Deverenchenko and scorecards, not his friend, you know. They don't like him. But besides that, he has had some good wins until he lost to Bakram. But besides that, he has Roberto Valenzuela Jr. Very nice win. You also have Jorge Fortea, 21-1. But besides that, very average wins. I mean, he does have the 12-0 Alexandro Duarte, which he stopped in the first round. But he then lost 12 more times, all by knockout. So you could say that Bakram broke his chin, I guess you could say. Because, yeah, he has not been doing too well. So that win, I guess it's still a good win. It just isn't aging as well. But it doesn't matter. What about their styles? And everyone knows Tszyu is a very durable, very strong power puncher. and he's very much explosive. Of course, he doesn't really show it in his other fights, but with the Fundora fight, oh man, that dude was styling on Fundora. I was like, God damn, like, oh damn, right? There's certain part, if there's a way to describe it, it's Tszyu is getting angles on southpaws, like how southpaws get angles on orthodox fighters. That's crazy. But of course, another somewhat big elephant in the room is that it's for the IBF title, which means a 10-pound rehydration clause will be put on both fighters. Now, of course, Bakaram has won the title, so obviously he has gone through the 10-pound rehydration clause, and looks like he's doing pretty good. Tszyu, I do believe, will not get affected that much. Not that much. Maybe a little bit. Maybe some chapped lips or something. I don't know. But for the most part, he should be fine from the 10-pound rehydration clause. Now, of course, as you go by resume, you could say Tszyu is leagues better than Bakaram. A little bit, yes. Especially because Jack Culcay was 39 at the time he fought Bakaram, so obviously older, but still a good win. But one great win that you can't really knock him for is Brian Mendoza. Carlos Ocampo, he got stopped, but he was also beaten by Sebastian Fundora and stopped in the first round as well against Errol Spence back at welterweight. So, yeah. Tony Harrison was the good win, but he also was coming off of a huge layoff. Not a good comeback fight, and got stopped. You could easily tell that the Tony Harrison that fought Tszyu is not the same Harrison that fought Charlo back in the day. Charlo Gaucher, another good win, just not at the elite level. Now, of course, Gaucher did give Carlos Adames a pretty good fight. Slow-paced fight, but a close fight. Takeshi Inoue, it's a good win there, too. Especially because Takeshi Inoue was only 31 at the time, so he wasn't old. But Steve Spark, oh, that dude was brought up 2 weight classes to fight Tszyu. So that dude just got, the two got thrown out the deep end. They just simple that. They just fed him to Tszyu. That's a little bit bad. I mean, yeah, his last fight was welterweight, but that dude's been fighting at super lightweight for like his whole career. So they just threw him in there. Oh my God, can't believe they did that to Spark. You also have Bowen Morgan, who good win, not elite, but it's still a good win. So in terms of resume, yes, Tszyu is better than Bakaram, but the one thing that Bakaram has that will give Tszyu problems is that he's a very twitchy fighter. Not as twitchy as someone like Janibek, as someone would say, but he's still twitchy, and he will give Tszyu a lot of problems in the early rounds. But it's the bodywork of Tszyu that's going to be the one that gets him the win, as simple as that. He's very good at breaking down his opponent. I mean, Mendoza, that dude got broken down like real quick. I mean, Mendoza was landing some good punches, but he got broken down. I was like, damn, he just made him slow and sluggish. Well, not sluggish, but slow. So Tszyu, the only way I can see Bakaram winning is if he lands a Hail Mary shot on a dehydrated Tszyu. Can he outbox him? Of course he can. But I think as the rounds go on, he's just gonna slow down, and Tszyu's gonna take the rest of the rounds and win the decision. I think it's gonna be very early for the first, very close for the first 8 rounds. I think it might be 5-3. Bakaram, I think it might be that. I think Bakaram will look like he's starting to pull away, but Tszyu's body work would slow him down, and he would get the decision win, becoming the IBF World title, becoming the IBF World Champion. Now, of course, that is great because it would open up a lot of opportunities. That would either open up a Sebastian Fundora rematch, because for some reason, they're saying Terence Crawford could strip Fundora if he decides to fight the winner of Bakaram Tszyu. I don't know how that works. He's the interim title holder. They're like, oh yeah, Fundora and Crawford came up with an agreement that Fundora would get a voluntary defense of his titles and then face Terence Crawford. But if Terence Crawford decides to fight someone else, they're gonna strip Fundora for that. How does that make any sense? But it's all speculation. Allegedly, it's all allegedly. It could also open up a fight with Jermell Charlo. Charlo has been basically hinting that he's gonna be coming back, and they were scheduled to fight for the undisputed titles not too long ago. Well, not too long ago, it was like a couple years ago, right? But you get the point. They were set to fight for the undisputed titles. Now they would be fighting for the IBF World title. That would be a good fight. It could also open up Tszyu versus the winner of Majormov Bohacek. Very nice too. I mean, Virgil Ortiz, I think he's gonna be going the Terence Crawford route. I don't know. But this fight will open up quite a bit of opportunities for the winner. Now, of course, if I were to name my top 5 super welterweights, because for some reason Virgil Ortiz is number 2 on BoxRec, I get it. It's AI. It's arithmetics or whatever people like to say. But regular Cheese is not number 2. He lost to Bohachuk. I don't care. I don't care if he still has that win on his record. He lost. He should have lost. Number 1 is by technicality would be Fundora for being the unified title holder. Number 2, a bit of a hot take, but Tszyu. I think Tszyu is number 2. Number 3 is Crawford. Number 4 is Bohachuk. And number 5 is Madrimov. That's right. I already put my 2 cents in. I think Bohachuk beats Madrimov in the fight. I believe so. If there's a will, there's a way. But besides that, it's going to be a very, very nice fight for Tszyu. Very close fight for the beginning, but Tszyu will pull ahead and get the unanimous decision victory. Now, of course, can Tszyu stop Bachram? Probably, but with the 10-pound rehydration clause, I feel like he's going to be a little bit more, he would be conserving a little bit more energy than he's used to. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.